welcome. We're back, Buck Bomb Live Thursday night, as we've been doing for the past several weeks. Thanks everybody for joining in. We'll probably see a few more people join in over the next few minutes as people start to see the video come on. But we're gonna keep it kind of short and sweet today. Aren't gonna take too long. You know, we've been doing the hit list for I think this is week number 6 that we've been doing, and you know, a lot of areas, even though some areas are starting their hunting seasons, a lot of areas haven't opened quite yet when it comes to deer hunting in particular. You know, those western states that have elk seasons and big game seasons, like, you know, pronghorn, antelope and stuff like that, those are opening up. You know, our friend Outdoors Alley, she killed a pronghorn a couple weeks ago, and she's out there elk hunting now, so wish her good luck. And we've got a lot of other friends out there that are doing some big game hunting right now, which is, you know, as we talked about several weeks ago, we do have some synthetic big game scents that lend themselves to that type of hunt, like the elk frenzy and the moose mania for those moose hunters up in Canada and, you know, Maine and those areas that have moose populations. So
so getting ready for deer season, we've been having a competition.
Yeah, I mean, the hit list is not just for deer, but we've been getting a lot of deer pictures for it. So with the week 6 this week, our giveaway winner is Kylie Hall. So congratulations to you, Kylie. You are the winner of the prize pack this week. You got the most likes on the photo that you submitted to this week's post. You get your choice of the Buck Bomb Aerosol family or the 4-ounce family, in addition to a Buck Bomb hat. So send us a message, let us know whether you like the aerosols or the 4-ounce families and what hat you'd like. So congratulations to you. But here in Georgia, private lands, I believe, open, is today the 8th?
7th.
The 7th. So private lands open on Saturday, I believe. So a couple days before the private lands open, and then public lands, depending on where you're at, those are opening in different times. I know one of the areas that I'm looking to start off at in the public lands opens, I believe, on the 15th. So next weekend will be, I believe, my first opportunity to get out there and do that.
And these last couple of days, you know, we've kind of had a cold front push through. Not cold, but it's cooled things off a little bit from our, you know, 95 days.
Not cold, but it's definitely a cold front. You know, in the south, it wasn't quite as hot of a year as last year. Last year was sweltering. It was, you know, through the month of September, first part of October, we were having 90-degree days on a regular basis. And now here it is, early September, first week of September, and it's in the 50s in the mornings. It hasn't even broken into the 80s the last couple of days. We had a pretty strong storm come through a couple nights ago, and things have kind of cooled off.
Really starting to feel like deer season's creeping up on us.
Yeah, it's post-frontal conditions after that storm cooling off. It's going to warm up again, but it's definitely it's good to see. You know, typically this cooler weather, as we've noticed, we know that it gets guys guys and girls in the hunting mood, because we see that people are shopping in stores more and picking up hunting gear earlier because of that cooler weather. So that's good to see. I think the hunting industry is good. A lot of people are excited about getting out hunting this year. There's a lot of deer out there to be killed, a lot of elk to be seen and bugled too. So it's a great time to get out in the woods here this fall. You know, take a kid out with you if you can. Somebody that hasn't hunted before. Don't forget about taking your friends with you, because that's just a snowball effect. So that's do we have any questions coming through this week, Sean?
No questions yet, Tony.
No
I think you're doing a good job summarizing it up, you know, talking about our contest.
Well, like I said, we're not gonna keep you too long this week. Again, if you have any questions about how to use scents, if you're doing any mock scrapes, this is definitely the time you want to be getting those out leading up to, you know, to bow season's opening up in areas. You know, Kentucky's open now, but a lot of areas, you know, typically open first part of October in the Midwest. You know, Iowa's usually October 1st, and you want to get in there and get the tree stand preparation done ahead of time. You want to get mock scrapes done ahead of time. Be sure to, you know, this year we want to stress tree stand safety to everyone. You know, it's not worth falling out of a tree stand just to be quick, and quite frankly, not wearing a tree harness. It's lazy, and it can cost you your life, and or just, you know, being paralyzed, and that's not something that's worth the risk. So be sure to be safe out there, and you know, be sure to utilize the correct scents when you're doing your mock scrapes. Jason McKee did a great job a couple times during these Facebook Lives of going over how to use mock scrapes and what sense to use at what times of the year. Early on in the early part of the season, you don't want to do a real aggressive scrape and clean and do it completely clean. You might want to just kind of scrape up the leaves a little bit below that branch. Maybe use some doe pee. Use a forehead gland scent that we've got this year in the 4-ounce liquid. That's going to be great to use early season. Once it gets into the rut, you might use an estrus scent like the Extras we have here. And say I've got a mock scrape right here. Obviously we don't. We'll just pretend. You can do is you can just spray it on the ground just in short bursts. Don't be afraid to put a good amount in there too. These aerosol cans are 6.67 ounce cans, and it may seem like a lot to sit there and spray it for a while, but when we met,
It'll go for a while.
yeah, and if you actually lock it down, it will hold itself too.
And we've had questions in the past couple episodes, can you put too much out? Which has, been one of the most asked questions.
So one thing that I would say to that is, honestly, I'll just let that go off there for a while, and hopefully the neighbors appreciate that. But honestly, when you think about a deer letting go of 4 to 6 ounces of urine when they're peeing in a scrape or peeing any other time, it's not that crazy to put out a whole 4-ounce liquid bottle or an entire 6-ounce can, because that's really what's natural when you're.
Oh, and it is strong.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You can smell it. I mean, this is the real deal stuff right here. You can see it keeps going off for a while, but I mean, it's natural for to let go of normal, several ounces of liquid at a time. A deer isn't just going to leave a couple drops here, a couple drops there. I mean, you think about it, they're relieving themselves, so they got to do what they got to do. And so usually these aerosols will go for about 90 seconds when you completely lock down the nozzle. If you're familiar with the Buck Bomb inverter valve, it'll actually atomize the urine, so it'll actually float on the air and travel up to a quarter mile, actually in excess of a quarter mile on a 3-mile-per-hour breeze. So it really doesn't take a whole lot for that to travel real far. It's going to stick to leaves and foliage and on the ground. It's going to cover that area in scent. So deer in that area or near it are going to pick up on that, and it's just going to put the odds in your favor to give you an opportunity to have deer in the area that you're at, and make sure you can maximize the time that you get to spend in the field, because a lot of people don't get to go out there every night or every day. People have jobs and might get one day a week or a couple days during the season to get out there, so you want to make sure you can do everything to maximize that. So, and that's what we're here to do, is to help everybody out and provide you the tools that are going to help you have a successful season.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on this, Sean? Cool.
Nothing yet, yeah.
All right, well, like I said, this is Extras. This is new for this year. It's an estrus scent that's actually certified to contain estrogen in there, up to 5 times the amount of natural estrogen in a wild doe. So that's something that we're pretty proud of and think is pretty cool. So check that out at your retailers this year.
So Tony, Mike Becker says, what one is best to use during the rut? And that's kind of subject here.
Right, a great question. So during the rut, there's two that I'm going to think about: a dominant buck and an estrus scent. So dominant buck is one that you're going to use to really challenge a big buck in the area, a dominant buck in the area. Make him feel like there's another buck coming into his area, and he's going to challenge him and come in for a fight and try to claim his territory. The other one is on the mindset of a hot doe, that buck is going to come in and looking to breed her. So that's when you're going to use an estrus scent. So of course you're familiar with our doe and estrus. That's what everybody knows Buck Bomb for, is the doe and estrus. Those fly off the shelves during hunting season. So the estrus it's similar to the regular doe and estrus, but we actually go to an extra step to confirm and solidify that there is actually estrogen in that can. So it's just a little added benefit you have with the extras there. So these are a couple things that you can use during the rut. But throughout the season, pre-season, during getting into pre-rut, you can start using those esters and dominant bucks. But early season, before the rut really kicks in, and late season, once it cools off and those bucks are winding down and not necessarily chasing and fighting anymore. That's where when you're going to use your just standard doe peas that don't have, you know, the actual estrus in them. Doe peas used as cover scents or just as attractants, or you can use the ambush all season as well.
Just an all-around deer scent.
Yep, those are going to work throughout the entire season. And one thing to mention is on the 4-ounce liquid bottles that I mentioned before, each one of those, the card on the packaging will tell you, it has icons specifically of what time of year to use it, as well as what applications, whether you're going to want to use it in a mock scrape or with a decoy or as a cover scent. So you can look at those cards on the Buck Bomb 4-ounce liquid urines, both the naturals and the synthetics, and they'll tell you exactly when and how to use that scent. So that's kind of a good overview. If there's any more questions, feel free to comment on this video, send us a message. But again, congratulations, Kylie Hall. You're the winner of the Week 6 Hit List giveaway. We're going to do another hit list this next week, Week 7. You'll see that post go up tomorrow around lunchtime. So be sure to show us your hit list bucks. Vote for your favorite pictures, and again, whichever photo has the most likes by next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, that will win our giveaway of either the Buck Bomb Aerosol family or the 4-ounce family in a hat. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us this week. It's Buck Bomb. We'll see you again next week.